everyone and welcome. Today I'm excited to share with you my tips for keeping your kids busy and just making sure that they're not spending all of their days on electronics. So many of us know that this is the struggle these days, and making sure that you have a structured day set up is one great way to make sure that this isn't what you fall into the trap of, just having them go and play on their video games or watching shows over and over and over again to where they're spending hours upon hours doing this each day. So what I've done is I've come up with a list with my kids. We all sat down together and we talked about different things, what would be fair for them to do, and different things that they would be interested in doing and having as part of their day. And this is something that I've seen on Pinterest several times. This is something that I've never really made much of a checklist for in the past, but come the end of summer, I always find that I feel a bit regretful of how the summer went, and just kind of letting them be on electronics way too much, really, and feeling like I have to scale back. And so what we're doing this summer is we're starting it off right, because we have gone this whole school year with having very limited electronics and having a structured way of letting them play on them or letting them watch. And so I want to continue that throughout the summer. I'm all for being laid back and just having fun in our summer, but to me that doesn't mean that they just shouldn't do anything. And that's how kids don't come back to school with a really great reading level and really great writing skills, because when you stop doing things over the summer, they tend to forget or they just get lazy, and so it's harder for them to get back into the swing of things. My goal this summer is to make it to where it's not hard at all to go back into the swing of things, and not to even think about having to get back into the swing of things. I think it's so important that kids get up every day, get themselves ready, just as it is for adults, and not to have that lazy mentality. So all of that to say that I did come up with a list for my kids. These are the things that we have already set into place in our home, and then I've also had them give me some different ideas for things that they would like to have added in here. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. So I did make this printable. Now I'm not sure yet if I'm going to link it. Do check in the description box below, because I may figure out a way to link it. I know I've done a printable before. I would love to have a printable for all of you, in case you don't want to write it out yourself. But I would also encourage you to sit down with your kids and you guys all write out what it is that you want and what would be good for your family. And that makes it so much more fun for the kids. Now, I just did a printable because I think that it's fun for them to see it all printed out this way, and it makes it a little bit more official. And like when you get something from school or something like that, that they enjoy that much more. So I'm gonna go down my list of my expectations and then different things that the kids wanted to add into this list of things that they would have to do before they got to play on their electronics. So first of all, I have a Rise and Shine section, and this is just what their morning routine is basically. That includes making their bed, getting dressed, eating breakfast, brushing their teeth, and then I put style your hair. I don't like when they just brush their hair and just leave it. I would like them to style their hair, and then to me that looks more like they did something with their hair. Now moving on into the next section is all of the things that they would be required to do before they played on their electronics or they watched a show. So this isn't something that has to be done in any order per se, but I would like them to complete all of these things before they get to be on their electronics. Now, as I said before, this is a list that we made together, and so some of the things in here you wouldn't find on, those Pinterest ideas of what to do, and I encourage you to add little things here and there, because the more that you add to this list, the longer and longer it pushes back the time that they would even be on the electronics. Now, I do have a minimum of when they could even start to be on their electronics, and to me that is 10 a.m. So if they wanted to get up super early and do all of this stuff early on in the morning, that's fine, but they're not allowed to turn on the TV or turn on the PlayStation or anything like that until 10 a.m. So the first thing is their morning chore. All of my kids have a chore throughout the week, and they are responsible for that chore for one whole week, and then we rotate it on Sunday. They need to tidy their room. So in the beginning I said to make their bed, but tidying their room is like after they had gotten dressed, or if they were playing, something like that. Their room does need to be tidy before they get to play. So even if they did start tidying their room in the morning, that's fine, but then as you'll see through this list, there are other things that they would be doing, like building something or painting or anything along those lines. Well, before they get to be on their electronics, their room must be tidy. They need to make sure to read for 30 minutes, and this is just recreational reading, whatever book they want to. Now, this is something that we added because I told them that they needed to do some writing over the summer. What was it that they wanted to do? So what they wanted me to do was write something on the top of the paper that could kind of give them an idea. And who doesn't like being prompted to write something? I know that I've seen these journal books in so many different places of I'm grateful for, or I'm so happy that, and all of those different kind of things. So this kind of makes it easier for them, because at first when we started this, my son was saying that I don't know what to write about, and he was complaining about it, but now this gives them a direction and they're excited about that. Now, something that my youngest daughter has been really excited about has been practicing her cursive. She got a book from her teacher, and it just has many pages for cursive, and just teaching her different things about it. We've already learned some things before she even started first grade, and that was actually one of the first ways that I taught them how to write their name was in cursive. And so I wanted to continue on with this and to continue to teach them, because I think it's an important skill for them to have. And so I am going to be requiring 5 sentences. That way it's not, overly just annoying for them to do. And this is going to be something that they're going to be doing every day. So 5 sentences, I write the sentence at the top, or they help me decide what sentence they want to write. And then I write it out in cursive, and then they can just copy that 5 times. They have to then write their name and the date in cursive as well. And so this kind of keeps them knowing what date it is. It actually helps me remember what date it is as well, and then gets them into the habit of writing it out. The next thing is just to get some Bible study in. And so what I'm asking them to read is 2 chapters. My son said 4 at first, but I think especially for the younger girls, 2 is plenty. But if my son wants to continue reading, if any of them want to continue reading, that's fine with me, but the requirement is at least 2 chapters. Now, the next area is the bathrooms. This is something that nobody ever knows who did what, so I'm going to make sure that each of them have to go through each of the bathrooms to make sure that they are tidy. So the next one I saw on Pinterest, and that was to help mama out with something. And so I really like that idea because it has them come up to me and ask me if there's anything that they can do for me. And then I wanted to add something else to that and have them ask one another if there's something that they can help them with. So many times we just think that it's only the parents that the kids need to help, but encouraging them to help one another out is so important, I think, as well. Now another thing we added in here was playing with the dogs. The dogs can be overlooked so often, and so making sure that they're spending a little bit of time playing with the dogs will be really fun for the dogs, and I think that it'll give them just something to look forward to as well. Even though it is very hot here in Las Vegas, it's still important to me that they get outside and they play. I don't care if they play with the hose or blow bubbles or, you know, ride on the sidewalk, do some jump rope, shoot some hoops, whatever it is that they do, they just need to get outside and play for 30 minutes. And last but not least is one of my favorite things, and that is to create something. So I encourage them to do some painting, some drawing, some coloring, anything like that. Even if they're going to build something, if my son wants to practice his instrument, the girls all have recorders that they like to play, and so they can create music with one another, or just play make-believe and create a scene of whatever it is that they want to do. And so that wraps up what it is that they all need to do before they get on their electronics. It has been so nice to not have them coming to me asking if they can be on it and asking over and over and over again, or hearing that first thing in the morning, because before my son would think that as soon as he woke up he could just go downstairs and turn on the TV, and then I would hear him playing his video games, he would be yelling out, and it would wake us up. And just it really helps to have this structure. It just gives them a nice variation, as well as keeping their mind working and going. And I think that this summer is going to be much more fulfilling because of this. And then I look forward to sharing with you general ideas of what it is that we are going to implement into each of our days. You can be on the lookout for several different summer dedicated videos with kids and how it is I'm doing things with the kids this summer. I think that they will be very helpful. Again, if you are interested in this printable, please check the description box below. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it on there, like I said, but I will do my best. Please let me know in the comments below what kind of things you want to make sure that your kids do in the summer before they are on their electronics. And until next time, I hope that you all take care, and we will talk soon. Bye, everyone.